Hi, my name is Robert Chelle with Chelle Law, and I assist veterinary associates with employment contract and independent contractor agreement issues. Today I'm going to talk about the difference between claims made and occurrence-based malpractice insurance for a veterinary associate. So the good thing when practicing as a veterinarian is the malpractice rates compared to other industries is much lower and very reasonable. And so I'm going to talk about what's the most common type of malpractice insurance used for a vet, and then go through kind of what it means and what you should look for. So first, claims made coverage, and this is not used very often in veterinary medicine. A claims made malpractice policy simply means a policy has to be in effect when the claim is actually made, so when you are actually sued. And so there could be a gap in between when you leave an employer and that policy ends, and then when someone can sue you. In most states, it's either 1 to 2 years. Many states have different laws on veterinary malpractice claims versus, if you were a physician being sued for some kind of malpractice. So you need a second policy that covers the gap in between when you leave and then the last day you can be sued, and that's called tail insurance. Most veterinary practices and large corporate veterinary practices do not use claims made insurance. I have seen it occasionally, but for the most part it is not used. The only thing you need to think about if your employer utilizes a claims made policy is who pays for that tail insurance. Now, a good rule of thumb, it's generally about twice what your annual premium is. So, whatever you pay for malpractice insurance on an annual basis, double that, and that's what your tail cost would be. It's a one-time payment. You don't have to pay it every year, but it's something to think about. And then let's move on to the next one, which is occurrence-based insurance. And what this means is a policy has to be in effect when the incident occurs. So, in this case, tail insurance is completely unnecessary. Now, from my experience, the vast majority of practices, especially veterinarian-owned practices, not corporate vet, utilize the AVMA PLIT. And so the AVMA PLIT uses only occurrence-based insurance. And the rates for that are based upon kind of your specialty practice area. They'll go through small animal only versus predominantly small animal versus a food animal versus equine, and each step is a little bit more expensive. The current premium for a small animal exclusive practice at their lowest policy limits is around $370 a year, which is obviously very reasonable. Now let's just go through policy limits real quick. A policy limit simply means what's the maximum amount that the insurance company is going to pay for one claim. And so normally it would be like, in this case, the smallest policy limit from the AVMA PLIT is $100,000 per occurrence, and then $300,000 aggregate, meaning they'll pay at most $100,000 per case, and then at most $300,000 in a total year. The liability for a veterinary malpractice claim is not nearly as high, or at least the risk to the doctor is not nearly as high as a veterinarian versus, as I said before, a physician. But it is something to think about and keep in mind, and you certainly want something in place. Going without malpractice insurance, especially when we are in a litigious age, is probably a bad idea. One other question, or I guess thought, the AVMA PLIT does offer a licensed defense, probably worth getting. I think it's only around $100 extra a year. And then if there is some kind of formal proceeding with the licensing board, they'll provide you with defense. And that's, I can promise you it'll be much more expensive than $100. So that's a little background on claims made insurance versus occurrence insurance for veterinarians. If you have any questions about your employment contract or independent contractor agreement, feel free to contact my law firm. All the contact information is listed below in the description, and I appreciate you watching the video. Thanks. Take care.